Hi kind friends, welcome back to this new video. Today I want to show you all the pages that I have started to color in May. Yeah, it's actually May. And I have started quite a few of new pages, as I usually do when I start a new coloring period. So you can see a small selection. I have started some more, to be honest. So let's have a look. So I want to get started with my mermaid pages. So I've started to color some mermaids. And the first one is an amazingly adorable characters collection by Daria Sakisoi. In this book, there are actually quite a few beautiful mermaids. Here's a colored example by Daria herself. And then I have started only with a marker base, basically, this page here. And I have to say that I really like the look so far. So I just went in with my alcohol markers and laid down some colors. So decided which colors I want to go with. And at the moment, it looks quite pastel-y. And I really like the look, I have to say, because this is a grayscale book, so a little bit of shading is coming through from the grayscale. That's why it looks actually quite interesting already. But obviously I will go in with my pencils, so I'm looking forward to continue this page here basically. But I really want to do a few mermaids at least. Usually May is my coloring slump month, so hopefully not this time. Then I also started another mermaid in Mythical Maidens and Curious Creatures by Hannah Lynn. This is an uncolored book, and I have this challenge where I want to get started in all my collection books from a selection of artists, and Hannah Lynn is one of those. And so I have started to color this mermaid here. So at the moment I just gave her an alcohol marker base for her skin. Actually a very nice color. I've used an Artex marker here. And then I started to color in her tail here. So with the mermaids, obviously coloring the tails is the fun, where you can get very colorful. And I'm trying to make it very colorful. So it's just started. I did a marker base so that I know where to lay my colors. And then now I'm working it out with pencils. And so this is how this looks so far. I know for the hair, I will have some light hair color, like a whitish, grayish hair color also. And then, you will also see that I've started a bunch of backgrounds. And the reason is, once the background is done, it's so much fun because, once I have colored in this mermaid here, which is obviously the focal point and the one thing that we are looking forward to color, then we are left with all the background basically. So it's always good to get started with your background first, but I didn't do it in this case here. So this was Mythical Maidens by Hannah Lynn. And then I also continued on some whips, so pages that I had already previously started, and I just wanted to continue them. And this is Meine Ausmalwelt Wald und Natur, Forest and Nature by Rayhan Udachi, also known as Radar Prince. And this is the page. You might have seen it in my completed pages where I also showed all my whips, and I had colored this shelf here. You also might have seen, actually, I did, I have this format where I do like 15-20 minutes of real-time coloring, and I colored the bottom shelf here together with you with polychromos actually. And I did follow I didn't follow, but I use color combinations from Coloring with Olivia. I'm a patron and I don't follow color alongs, but I still can learn something from her. And this year I definitely want to use my polychromos more, and also I want to use just my other pencils more, because I'm used to use Prismacolor Premiere, and I really want to use more of the other pencils that are better to get and also not as expensive. So this is this. I really love how this bottom shelf is coming along, and I can't wait actually to continue to color this page here. So this was Meine Ausmalwelt Wald und Natur by Rayhan Udachi. I also continued 2 more whips. I had some in Halloween Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. I love these Cuties books. And the first whip that I did continue is this one. Also in a 50-minute series, so of 20 minutes. I showed you how to color in the magic here, how to do the gold and the gemstone here. And yeah, I think that's it. So I showed you just some little details because in those 15 minutes you actually can't do a whole lot. But yeah, I really like how this one is going, and I think I will be able to finish that one off fairly soon now. I also continued this page here, which I also absolutely love. I also have a 15-minute video on this, show you how I color these lunar moths here. And yeah, I think this one, hopefully I will finish up today actually, because it's only the pumpkin, the candle, and the this thing here. I cannot come up with a name now. Marshmallow, yeah, with the marshmallows. So, and I do have a little bit of my shiny outlines here, which I love to do on those lunar moths. I really love to do it when I have some light involved, because I think it would just shine on these things, and then they would shine and sparkle. So, yeah. So this was this little whip here, Halloween Cuties by Joshua Dunbar. So, and now we come to the books in which I have started a fresh page. And the first one that I want to share is from Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And, you know, this year I actually wanted to try out to play a little bit more with light scenes, to practice it, to create atmosphere, moody atmospheres, where I can really have light and shadow. So this is what I'm practicing here basically. So I really want to have those areas where the candles are lit up, and then I want to have parts that are more in shadow, darker. And yeah, that is basically what I'm trying out here. So I started with a marker base. And you know, the reason why I love to get started with so many fresh pages is I can get down my areas very quickly in the way that I do. For example, I do all the marker base or whatever, the base layers first, which I set the tone and the atmosphere and the colors. I make my decisions on the color scheme and so on. And I also love it to get started just with the backgrounds, which is, yeah, quicker than do the pencil shading in the end, all the detailing with the pencils. So backgrounds are fairly quick, and sometimes I'm just in the mood to do them. But yeah, so this is this little cute page here from Matchstick Mouse. I actually really like how this is going. This is so cozy here. Yeah. So this was Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And then I also wanted to color more from R.J. Hampson, because I have finished my very first page from R.J. Hampson recently, and now I'm in the mood to do more. So I have started Hide and Seek. This is not the newest book, but he brings them out so quickly, actually. So in here, I only did marker base, alcohol marker base, and then went over with pencils. And here I actually used some pastel pencils. So I've used the Castle Art pastel tint, which I really love. And then together with the Derwent Chroma Flow. So, for example, here I only have the Chroma Flow, and these color combinations here, those little flowers here actually, are the exact same color combinations. The only reason why they look differently is that I have used a different alcohol marker base. So this was a little bit more violet, this was more blue, and then you can create a variation while still using the same pencil combination. And yeah, I really love those flowers, how they're coming out. I was very much inspired by Coloring with Olivia. She had done something on her Instagram in a Johanna Basford book. tiny, and it just inspired me to also do this color combination. I really loved it with this blue and violet. I loved the look, and yeah, I'm really enjoying my chroma flow actually. Those leaves are done only with the chroma flows, and they work quite well on these on this Amazon paper here. So yeah, I was quite impressed and enjoying them, and I want to use those more as well. I have this small set, these 72 count set, but if I really enjoy them a lot, I might get the full set at some point. But first I have to use them more and see if I really like them a lot and get to know the colors and everything. So yeah, but this is this page, how this is going. I really like it. I think when it is finished, it will look very colorful, and I love that about RJ's pages, that they can get very colorful and vibrant. So this was Hide and Seek by RJ Hampson. And then I started another page in an RJ Hampson book. This is Mountain King, also one of my favorites. I would say that the Mountain King and the Hide and Seek are my favorite books from RJ Hampson, and so I wanted to have a started page in those. And I started this page here. And this is one of the pages in which I did start with a background. So, you know, when I start the backgrounds, I just take a few pages, a few books that I want to color in and do the backgrounds. Because I actually really like when the backgrounds are done first. Because, you know, first it sets the mood and the atmosphere quite well. And, you know, once I have colored this lantern here, it's not a whole lot to do, and then I can really focus and play on those little dragons and those moths and have a lot of fun, and don't need to care about what should I do with the background. So I really love it when the background is done. It gives me a feel of accomplishment, and yeah, I have started with the shading down here already, so I'm just going over with my white Prisma. And then I have some polychromos. As I said, I want to use my polychromos more. So it is taking a little bit longer with the polychromos because they are more of a layering pencil. But I'm getting there. It's also, I think, just a matter of practice maybe. Yeah, however, so this is my second page from RJ Hampson that I have started for this season. And I also really like how this one is going. And again, I'm playing with a light scene. I really want to color more those moody pages, atmospheres. Yeah, so this was Mountain King by RJ Hampson. And then I also started another page in Graveyard Girls by Carla Magana. I had started one, but now I started the one that I really was looking forward to. Here I also started with a background, so I've used my gel crayons basically. Maybe you've noticed that so far I actually only went in my Amazon printed books, almost. Because I really love those books actually for doing ink backgrounds, gel crayons backgrounds, just quickly, and doing alcohol marker base. And I don't know, for some reason I enjoy to color in these books. So yeah, I started this Beautiful Ghost by Carla Magana, and I want to kind of make her look kind of the same way that I did with the Jasmine Beckett Griffiths page that I had colored last year, on which I had actually more or less followed a video from Zazu and Color. And yeah, I actually can't wait. It was a fairly quick process. I want to make her a little bit more detailed, so to speak, but then also do the foggy effect here on the bottom part. And so this will be a lot of fun to finish it, I think. So far I'm quite happy with my background and can't wait to continue this one. So this was Graveyard Girls by Carla Magana. And then I started another background, and this is a printable PDF page. This page is by Fabiana Atanasio. I got it from her Etsy store, and I absolutely love this magical scene. I will bring you in a little bit closer. Here I love those little mushrooms here, and then she has this book with magic coming out, and yeah, the fairy looks just very nice. I love, you know, like a forest scenes where she's sitting here on this tree stem. And yeah, so I wanted to have my background kind of magical, and so I used some turquoises and blues, and this was with the Distress Oxide inks from Ranger. And yeah, so I thought this color combination would go very well. And you know, either I love to use my inks or my gel crayons when I do the backgrounds, you know, quickly. I do take my time, but yeah, compared with the rest that I have to do now, this was actually the quick part of the page. And it gives a lot of color variation already, because I love to use different colors and build them up and not just do one color. That's not my style, actually. Most of the time. Sometimes, of course, I do it too. Yeah, it all depends on what you plan to do, actually. But I love when I have a little bit of color variation. Yeah. So, and yeah, so this is Fabiana Atanasio. I can't wait to continue this page. It looks so magical, I think. And then for the last one, I have also started my second page in Easy Fantasy by Joshua Dunbar. And it is back here. Yeah, and I wanted to have actually light coming from this direction and then more shadow here on this side. This is also a tryout for a Kirby page on which I want to do the same concept, more or less. But maybe you can see it. I have a lot of buckling on this paper here. I have used the gel crayons dry. Yeah, so just with brushes. And so far, I always thought that the gel crayons are the perfect medium for Amazon books, because they don't create buckling usually. They don't go through, they are easy to apply, they're easy to blend, and they don't buckle. And I have to say, I think the Amazon paper is getting worse and worse and worse. I never had buckling with gel crayons on Amazon book. Or in an Amazon book. So this is the very first time, and I have to say this paper is really the worst there is. And yeah, I might overthink my love to Amazon books when it's getting that bad with the paper. Joshua's books are available digitally as well, so... But I love to have books, you know. I just love to have my pages in books and flip through them. So that's really a pity. Absolutely, that's a pity. So yeah, and that's it. That were all the pages that I have started in the first 2 weeks of May. Quite a lot, actually. As I said, those backgrounds are fairly quick. The alcohol marker bases are fairly quick. So it's easy for me to get started with pages. What takes time is actually now going into the pages and doing all the detail with pencil. That is actually what is taking my time then to finish those pages. And so I actually really love to get started with pages. I also love to finish pages, but that is just taking me much more time. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little show and tell about my current whips, the pages that I was working on in May. And if so, give me a thumbs up, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.